Good evening. I would like to welcome you all to our Martin Luther King celebration. The hour is the Thermal Belt Friendship Council, and we are delighted to always be able to bring this program to the community. I particularly want to make note this evening that the program has been made possible by a free event grant from the Polk County Community Foundation, for which we are very, very grateful. I want to tell you a little bit about the Friendship Council, and I'll keep it short. We've been in existence since 1986, when a group of citizens came together to figure out what to do in response to a proposed Klan rally here in Tryon. The concern was great, the response was determined to be peaceful, and a desire for social relationships grew out of that, and the Friendship Council grew out of that desire. So we are a group that meets monthly, concerned with both getting to know one another in the community, but also promoting issues of diversity, equal rights, justice, wherever and however we can. Our meetings are the second Tuesday of each month at Roseland Center at 6 p.m. They last about an hour. We have no membership fees, no dues, no formal roster. If you declare yourself a member of the Friendship Council, you are. We try to be the most welcoming group we could possibly be. I'd like you to know that we also meet once a month out in the community for lunch at a local restaurant. You don't need to let us know ahead of time if you're going to be there, just show up. The next one is January 24th at 11:45 at Southern Delights Restaurant in Landrum. Please join us if you will. And our next business meeting is February 10th at 6 p.m. at Roseland. We also have coming up a diversity training that will be done by our own Dr. Fox on February 28th from 12 to 2. And you'll be hearing and seeing more about that. And one of our largest events of the year, our annual community picnic, will be June 6th at Harmon Field. There are a lot of people and organizations I want to thank, and I'll try to keep that short, particularly the Community Foundation, not only for their financial assistance, but their help in putting together a program that would fulfill their grant. I would also like to thank the Fine Arts Center, who has graciously hosted us for a number of years now. Big Brothers Big Sisters for providing some ushers, St. Luke's Hospital, the Tryon Daily Bulletin, the News Journal and the News Leader, Roseland Community Center, donors to our Martin Luther King Scholarship Fund, and donors to our Creative Contest, Mayor Jim Wright, who has agreed to be with us this evening, Dr. Joseph Fox and Mr. Paul Nelson, who served on the Scholarship Committee, Meg Rogers, who assisted us with the financial end of the grant for the Friendship Council. And last but not least, and she's going to be mad at me for saying this, we had one person spearhead this grant, and even when I got sick and then had to leave town and she thought the whole thing was going to be on her shoulders, she soldiered on brilliantly. And I am so thrilled that we've had Robin Edgar working with us to put this program together. And I'd like a round of applause for her. And I'd also like to thank our ushers, Sammy and Sarah and Cecily. Folks from Key Club at Polk County High School. I have a couple of other announcements I'd like to share with you. I am very excited that the Nina Simone Project is going to be presenting a program from January 31st to March 13th, 2015 through the upstairs art space. It will begin with a reception on January 31st. On February 21st, there will be a free concert at Roseland Center featuring the MPP band. And on February 26th, there will be a panel discussion at Upstairs Art Space. Some of us who have been in the community for a while have really hoped to see some things happen around our dear Nina Simone. And so I'm very excited to be able to announce these things to you. And I hope that you'll see the publicity and you'll all plan to attend those as well. One other announcement, and I just heard about this afternoon, so forgive me if I get the details messed up. The Tryon Fine Arts Center is planning an exhibit for this summer celebrating the Tryon All-Stars black baseball team. And they are in urgent need of photos and memorabilia from that team. The photos don't have to be team photos. They can be of individuals who are in the team, on the team. They would love to have any equipment, uniforms, whatever anybody has lying in their closet somewhere. And I do have the name of a contact person if anybody has materials that they'd like to donate. They will be copied and returned to you in the condition that they were received. They'll take very good care of them. I'm very excited that this is happening, and I want to just share with you the poignant comment I heard, which was, I've lived in this town all my life, and up until 2 years ago, I never knew that team existed. So I'm really pleased that that's going to be rectified. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you for supporting Dr. King and the Friendship Council. And I'm going to turn things over to our Master of Ceremonies.
Good evening. I want to welcome all of you here this evening. Our president told you what is required to become a member of Friendship Council. It's just having a desire. But you all have shown a desire to be a part tonight, so I'm going to officially make you members of Friendship Council. Because without you, we would have no one to present our work to. And it's all for the community, and we try to do it by the community and with the community. So welcome, welcome, welcome. To move right along, our first speaker was going to be our Honorable Mayor, Tryon. And after the mayor, we will have a selection from Brian and Beth. Welcome.
Good evening, everyone. I'm sorry I can't see you out there very well, but we're glad you're here. I'd like to thank the Friendship Council for inviting my wife, Kathy, and I back for the Martin Luther King celebration again this year. We also appreciate the fact that you scheduled it on our wedding anniversary. And the local Kiwanis Club was nice enough to have a chili supper to make it even better. It's an honor for both of us to be here and to welcome you once again. So welcome. A couple of comments to make, and then I too shall sit down. But as humans, we're trained to always measure our progress. We set annual goals in our business world, and we make New Year's resolutions and so forth. So whatever progress means to us individually, we try to measure it. On the common topics that those of you here tonight are interested in or care about, 2014 was not a year where we should be very proud of the progress we made in a global sense. Last year when we gathered, we had just lost Nelson Mandela, and we had great celebration about Nelson Mandela's life. Shortly after our gathering last year, in the spring of 2014, we lost Maya Angelou. As you know, Maya was a great poet. She was a wonderful educator. She was a civil rights leader for many years, and she was a long-term resident of North Carolina. Some of us will remember 2014 as a year of unusual expressions of hate for our fellow humans. Some of that feeling comes about due to several wars, a couple of which were founded in religion. Some hate fester because we still don't understand our fellow man, and greed was behind some of our hate. As we listen tonight to Mr. Ratchford, and as we set our personal paths for the year, I would encourage you to keep Maya's words in your head and in your heart. She said, quote, "Hate, it has caused lots of problems in this world, but it has not solved one yet. I'll say that again. Hate has caused lots of problems in the world, but has not solved one yet. So welcome again. Let's enjoy our time together tonight and leave with the spirit that things will be better because of the work of the Friendship Council and the things that you're doing. Thank you very much.
Every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. Every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. Upon the mountain, our Lord spoke. Out of his mouth came fire and smoke. Torn in rivers, so chilly and cold. It chills the body, but not the soul. Every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. Every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. All around me, so chilly and kind, I asked the Lord if all was mine. Ain't but one train that runs this track. It runs to heaven and runs right back. Oh, every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. Oh, every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. I will pray.
Thank you. There will be more of that later on. Now, call to purpose, our own past president of the Friendship Council, Dr. Joseph Fox.
I'm not sure I want to follow Brian. I too want to wish you good evening. It is with much delight that I look out at the sea of diversity filling the Tryon Fine Arts Center this evening. We come together to celebrate the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. The purpose of this evening is to celebrate the dream of Dr. King related to unity of all mankind, while remembering that we still have much work to do. Let us not just see this as a remembrance service, but as a call to action to fight for changes in the systems that keep people of color, the poor, women, and the mentally and or physically challenged individuals relying on public assistance, low-paying jobs, and a criminal justice system stacked against a marginalized population. We know that we have much work to do regarding Dr. King's vision. Dr. King started his mission long before December 1955, when he became the president of the Montgomery Improvement Association, to bring about the change of black people having to sit and ride in the back of the bus, and also to protest the arrest of Miss Rosa Parks. He continued his work in 1957 with a group of Southern ministers organizing the Southern Christian Leadership Conference to further advance black equity. His fight was for open housing, jobs, and educational opportunities for people throughout the United States. Dr. King realized that systemic changes had to occur before all men could become equal. He challenged the gatekeepers, those individuals in decision-making positions, to let people of color have a voice at the decision-making table. We know that we still have many miles to march following the recent victims of shootings and brutality such as Trayvon Martin, Jordan Davis, Eric Gardner, Michael Brown, Kia Gurley, and Tamir Rice, and many others that have not made the press. I challenge you today to not only take up the cause that black life matters, but to champion all life. Today I call on each of us to challenge the operating procedures and practices of the criminal justice system, the education system, the employment system, the housing system, and the health system that keep marginalized individuals from the decision-making table while decisions are being made that affect those individuals' lives. I call on each of us to demand that policies that directly address situations for marginalized people be looked at. I call on each of us to demand policies that directly promote wealth creation opportunities, policies that increase educational opportunities, policies that increase home ownership, policies that increase startup capital for business ownership, policy that allow for fund development for retirement, and policy that move people off of public assistance and out of public housing to living wage jobs and entrepreneurship and home ownership. The Farmer Belt Friendship Council has taken steps to march us towards unifying the community with its goal to bridge the racial gap within our community. We hope that you will embrace the dream tonight and continue its purpose of unity of mankind regardless of one's color of skin. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Fox. Now, that's the call to purpose. Now, here's some of our purpose being put into action, and this will be our scholarship presentation. This is one of our purposes that we use, and we like it because it's for the young folk. We need, with the education and the other things that we're fighting for, we have to start with the young. Let them display what they can do. Let them hear what has been done, what has to be done, and let's include them. So now, the next person you hear will be Paul Nelson, who's going to present the scholarship presentation to our young folks. Paul.
I want you to be encouraged. I only have a little card and a long paper. I've had the privilege of serving on the scholarship committee, and it's been a very, for about the past 3 years, it's been a very rewarding thing because all of the applications that we received, including the ones we received this year, these young students are achievers. They're achievers in their school, they're achievers in their community, they're just a tremendous thing. So it becomes very difficult to make a selection, but our job is to make a selection. I can relate to the need for all the finances they can receive to help them in their college career. Because a long time ago, and you can tell, when I say a long time ago, I mean it, I was a product of the Depression, and I took every kind of part-time job, and fortunately I was awarded some scholarships that helped me along the way to get a college degree. So to me, it's just a rewarding thing to be able to help them along the line. I wonder if Samantha Metcalf would now come up on the stage. I am very privileged to present to Samantha a certificate from the Friendship Council for $500. Now, as soon as she's been accepted at one college, I understand, and applies to several others. As soon as she makes up her, determines where she's going to go, the Friendship Council will send a check to that university for $500 to help her along the way. So it's just a great pleasure I present this certificate to you.
Thank you, Paul, and congratulations to you, young lady. Our next presentation will be our creative art, and Ms. Robin Baker will do our presentation. Robin?
Thank you. Last year, we started the Martin Luther King Creative Arts Competition, and we targeted our middle schools in Landrum and in Polk County and offered it to any middle school student in those areas to submit entries based on our essay question or our visual arts prompt. And we tried to get the students to think about what life would be like either they didn't have Martin Luther King's example, or why life is so much different because of his example. And so I would like to present the first, second, and third awards and one honorable mention to first place for visual arts is Madeline McDonough. And then the second place goes to Arizona Bright. Oh, this is Madeline. She is here. I didn't know she was here. And then I also have third place to Jessica Hyder. Is her grandmother here to receive that award? Okay, thank you very much. And we're very excited. The Nina Simone concert on Nina Simone's birthday on February 21st, which is going to be held in the Roseland Community Center. We are going to exhibit select pieces from the visual art entries. So if you can't take your entries home today, you have to leave them with us. Okay? Thank you very much. All right. Thank you. Thank you. And now for our essays, we have our first place in the essay category is Sarah Russell. And our second place is Riley Lauter. Our third place is Austin Lindsay. Austin. And then our honorable mention is Ian Anderson. Riley Lauter. And Ian. You get this. Okay. And so I just want to remind February 21st at the Roseland Community Center to see all of his wonderful artwork. It is on exhibit outside in the lobby, and you can meet the young artists there.
Thank you. That's what it's all about. That's why we meet at Roseland once a month. We only stay there an hour, but we take care of business while we're there. And sometimes it's dark. Some people don't like to drive after it's dark, but it's not about us anymore. It's about the young people. And thank you for participating in all our winners. And next year, hopefully there'll be more. There will be more. Now we have another selection from Brian and Beth. And after their rendition, we will have the president of the Friendship Council come and introduce our speaker of the evening.
Trumpet.